What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. Thanks for all the great likes and comments. So let's get straight into it. You know how we do it here. We just get right to it. I want to break down the Seattle Seahawks football preview. Seahawks are a team that has just always been in the mix with Russell Wilson. Super Bowl in 2013. Really love what Pete Carroll's done. He's came from USC back into the NFL and has really turned the Seahawks into a solid franchise. So last year they're 11-5. It all starts at the quarterback position. Russell Wilson, one of the best in the business. Last year, 4,110 yards, 31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Like I said, Wilson led the team to a Super Bowl win, and then he kind of got that huge contract, and it kind of led to pieces getting taken away from the team. That was back in 13, 14, the Legion of Boom. Obviously lost in 14 to the New England Patriots. That Super Bowl, that was a instant classic. Malcolm Butler, the jump interception. But Wilson's a guy that's really carried the team. The Seahawks, it's kind of the main issue every year. The offensive line seems to struggle, and Wilson has to do a lot. Wide receiver position, okay. Running back, Chris Carson, has been a solid running back. Has kept their offense solid. It's Pete Carroll's really preached it, but it's something they really had under Marshawn Lynch, a strong running game that really helps set up the passing game, take some of the pressure off of Russell Wilson. But yeah, Chris Carson, a solid player, a guy that came into the league that really under the radar, 7th round pick from Oklahoma State. 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons. Last year, 1,230 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per carry for Chris Carson, the former Oklahoma State Cowboy. At the wide receiver position, I really like how Tyler Lockett has stepped up. I thought he's a guy that was very talented, very productive career at Kansas State. Last year, over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. A guy I really targeted for fantasy football, too, because I knew he was one of the main options in Seattle. DK Metcalf, another guy that's a very good player who shined as a rookie last year, 2nd-round pick from Ole Miss. Likely could have went 1st round, but there was an issue with one of the drills in the combine. It was like the cone drill or something like that. But he was a super fast guy, 4.33 at the combine, blazing 40 times, 6'4". Love what he does after the tackle. You saw him break a ton of tackles after the catch, But DK Metcalf, a guy that look to should have another big year for Seattle. Him and Lockett, the main 2 guys. They bring in Greg Olson at tight end, the longtime Carolina Panther, former Chicago Bear. Had a very productive career, but he's battled through some injuries the last few years. Really like Greg Olson a lot, though. A guy that I've always had a lot of respect for at the tight end position. A guy I've had on my fantasy team for a long time, but Olson, if he's got anything left in the tank, will obviously help out the Seattle game, both blocking in the run game and also in the pass game, and also a guy that you want in your locker room, a former leader for the Carolina Panthers and a veteran in the NFL. The offensive line has showed improvement. They have Dwayne Brown, a longtime veteran, longtime Houston Texan. Ethan Pokic, a guy they drafted from LSU a few years in the 3rd round, has been solid. The offensive line, they've never really made a super big priority under Carroll, except for like a few years they were pretty solid. But like they said, the Russell Wilson money kind of led to the offensive line. Some of their guys moving on. Defense, Bobby Wagner still going strong. Turns 30 on June 27th. KJ Wright's 30. How old's KJ Wright? 31, I believe. But both those guys very solid for the Seahawks. Bobby Wagner's just been a staple, one of the best middle linebackers in football. Having Pete Carroll in Seattle, keeping those guys together has just been critical to their success, because those guys have just, been a staple on a defense that was really broken up. But keeping Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright staying has just been huge. Bobby Wagner, one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. Guy I've really admired and enjoyed watching. Guy that really doesn't miss a lot of tackles. They also drafted Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech. He's a guy that they want to try to replace Bobby Wagner. I don't know if he'll be that type of player. From what I've seen on film, he's a pretty solid tackler. Knows how to shoot gaps on the blitz. There's some things he needs to improve on, but it looks like he's got potential to be a pretty good player, pretty good size. So, like what I've seen out of the few games I watched from Jordan Brooks. But yeah, the pass rush was an issue last year. Clowney and the Ziggy Ansah, guys that have had success in the past. Clowney for the Texans, Ziggy Ansah for the Lions. Both were banged up last year, and it really hurt the pass rush. The secondary got a spark when they traded with the Detroit Lions to get Quandre Diggs. That really helped them a lot. Also have some pretty solid corners in Trey Flowers and Shaquille Griffin. But secondary, not near what it was like under the Legion of Boom, but still pretty solid overall. So, but yeah, so Seahawks lost to the Dallas Cowboys last year. It was they beat. Oh man, I'm sorry here. So they beat the Cowboys and then lost to the Green Bay Packers, a Packers team that ended up getting blown out by the 49ers. But that's just the thing for me. I think they'll finish. I'm going to give you the prediction here. I think they finish second in the NFC West to the 49ers. I think the 49ers are the team to beat in the NFC West. Jimmy Garoppolo and all the talent that's really clicking with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan just keeps bringing in more and more talent to that team. They added Brandon Ayuk through the draft, so I think that's a team to beat. The Los Angeles Rams have so few players tied into big money, and then who's the other team in the NFC West? Drawing a blank. The Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals are a team to watch out for, but I don't know if they're likely to challenge yet. With still a young quarterback and a young coach, but yeah, this is an interesting division. It's crazy to think that the Los Angeles Rams could finish last, but yeah, I want to see Seattle next year really try to take that next step forward and the problem is I don't know if they're a team that can get back to the Super Bowl. Like, their success the last few years kind of says exactly who they are. They're a team that's playoff contention, maybe can win a playoff game, but I don't know if this is a Super Bowl caliber team. So we'll just have to watch in the NFC West that is getting better and better. Thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk, guys. I appreciate your support so much. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at BigTimeFootball1L5. We're going to keep cranking out these previews. I'm likely going to do, you guys have wanted some more NFL talk, so I'm going to keep doing that. Likely the 49ers, Rams, one of those teams will be next. So thanks for your guys' support. Until next time, peace.